The Commons Speaker, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, came under fire today after he broke with convention and allowed a Labour amendment to the SNP's Gaza motion. That amendment passed, defusing a potentially big rebellion from Labour MPs who may have voted for the tougher SNP position, which condemned Israel and called for an immediate ceasefire. Conservative and SNP MPs walked out of the chamber in protest over the Speaker's handling of the matter. Afterwards, a visibly shaken Sir Lindsay apologised to the Commons.
I regret how it's ended up. It was not my intention. I wanted all to ensure they could express their views and all sides of the House could vote. As it was, in particular, the SNP were ultimately unable to vote on their proposition. I am, and I regret, with my sadness, that it's ended up like that, in this position. That was never my intention for it to end up like this.
Mr. Speaker, whilst I acknowledge your apology, the reality is that you were warned by the clerks of the House that your decision could lead to the SNP not having a vote on our very own opposition day. As a result, we have seen the SNP opposition day turn into a Labour Party opposition day. I'm afraid that is treating myself and my colleagues in the Scottish National Party with complete and utter contempt. And I will take significant convincing that your position is not now intolerable.
Well, this evening, more than 30 MPs have signed up to a no-confidence motion in the Speaker. The political editor of HuffPost UK, Kevin Schofield, gave us his take on the Commons drama. Kevin, absolute chaos in the Commons. What's your assessment of these scenes?
Yeah, I mean, it was like being back in 2019, to be honest with you, with the Brexit votes and all those meaningful votes that we had when Theresa May was still Prime Minister. It was absolutely chaotic. I mean, we knew that it was, feelings were running high earlier when Lindsay Hoyle announced that he had accepted the Labour amendment, which went against precedent. I won't bore you with the parliamentary procedural details, but effectively the government had put down an amendment to the SNP's opposition day motion. And the expectation was that the Labour amendment, therefore, would not be taken. However, Lindsay Hoyle announced, just as the debate was beginning, that the amendment had been taken. And as you can imagine, there was furore then from not just from SNP MPs, but also from Conservative MPs. Then we had the debate. And then when it came time to vote, Penny Mordaunt then got up with the Commons leader and surprised us all by saying that because of what had happened earlier, the government would be taking no more part in the proceedings and were withdrawing their amendment. And from there, it just descended into complete farce. I mean,
unbelievable scenes. Why do you think Lindsay Hoyle went against convention in the first place?
Well, there's all sorts of rumours flying around that he was under a lot of pressure from Labour, even suggestions that he was threatened that if he did not take the Labour amendment, then Labour would dump him as Speaker after the general election. Now, that's been very, very forcibly denied by Labour and also by Lindsay Hoyle himself. His official reason for doing it is that he was concerned about the safety of MPs who have obviously been coming under an awful lot of pressure from constituents over this issue for many months now, ever since October really, and he wanted to give as wide a range of views and allow MPs to vote on and as wide a range of views as possible. Whether you believe that or not, certainly a lot of MPs, particularly SNP MPs, feel very aggrieved.
And can he survive this?
Well, funnily enough, just before I came here, I got a text message from a government minister who said he will not survive this. There's certainly an awful lot of anger. One person said to me that MPs are livid about Lindsay Hoyle, why he took this decision. I mean, the inference is that he's biased towards the Labour Party. Obviously, the Speaker is meant to be independent, but before he was Speaker, he was a Labour MP. There's already a motion doing the rounds of no confidence in him. That's gathering a lot of signatures from Conservative MPs. It'd be interesting to see if the SNP support that as well. So there's no doubt he'll be under an awful lot of pressure between now and the election, and he may not survive.
And of course this all overshadows the very serious issue of Gaza that they were there to debate and vote on in the first place.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. I mean, what the general public must think looking on at the chaotic scenes in Parliament today when, you know, innocent civilians are still being bombed in Gaza and children are dying. It's not a great look for Parliament, to put it mildly, and, you know, it does not advance the cause of peace in the Middle East 1 inch when you see scenes like that in the House of Commons, unfortunately.
OK, Kevin, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening.